8-year-old child, there was a family living next to my home with their 3 children who did not have access to education. So they did not go to school due to their struggles that they had and the lack of money. So they were always waiting for us to come home so that they could go through our books, learn what we have learned from the school on that day. So that inspired me to set up a small playhouse in the backyard of my home, and we left all our reading materials, books inside of that so that they could come and read our books. So that was my first social group that I initiated with my 2 siblings, and we named it United Children Association. The other significant instance that inspired me was 1998 Commonwealth Games. And I saw the people of different skin complexions embrace each other as a gesture of friendship. So I was taken aback as it was conflicting to actually what I was hearing and learn about the discrimination on gender, discrimination on people of different skin complexions. So I was inspired to organize a mini Olympic in my own community to gather children, to educate them and unite them. And we made certificates and medals out of cardboard boxes, and later my brother became the president of the club. Of course, he was 1 year older than me, and I became the secretary. So as the years passed, and based on all the activities that I have been doing and contributed to, I realized this gap in between facilitated communities and non-facilitated communities. Facilitated communities are the communities that are well organized, that have opportunities and resources, and even have a direction as a community. But non-facilitated communities are the communities that do not have much resources, opportunities, and they do not have a direction as a community. Even though we have been working in the community work, building the lives of other people, we have been maintaining this gap in between societies. So that encouraged me to develop strategies to build a bridge in between these 2 communities so that they could share their ideas together, they could share their exposure together, they could share their expertise together. So I joined many organizations, voluntary groups, NGOs, and other institutions. What I realized was there are various undertakings that we normally reach out to and get involved, but many of them are not truly sustainable and not literally bringing impactful results on the ground. So charities are absolutely important. They unite people, inspire, educate, but for them to continue to flourish, they must be supported and promoted in a sustainable model. So in 2011, we went to Vaunia, northern part of Sri Lanka. We renovated this school, and we distributed books, shoes, school bags, and even school uniforms. After 7 or 8 months later, we went back to the community just to see how they were doing. And we noticed that students were still walking to the school with no shoes, and they were not really using what we have distributed among them. So we were like, why they were doing that? So we went to some of these homes of these little children. We saw that the uniforms that we distributed among them were in the cupboard, nicely packed and protected. And the pencil cases and all the other instruments that we distributed in their little rooms and their little tables. So they were so excited and happy the fact that they received these fresh gifts from a community like us. They have never experienced that. But we question ourselves. Have we truly empowered themselves in using those resources for their education? Have we truly built the capacity of the people in that community to use the best out of their resources to take their lives to the next level? So it's time to it's time to change the way we are trying to change the world. We have to think beyond what we have been doing. Today, we have enough resources in this society, enough financial resources, human resource, including strategies, plans, concepts, and ideas to address almost all the present issues in the society, locally and even internationally. If you really look at it, we have identified almost all the issues in the society that we are facing today and even in the future. We have also identified the solutions. And if you look at the institutions, we have people who are paid to act on those strategies, but we do not see the results. And there are people who are working 8 to 5 every day just to work on these concepts, strategies, and action plans. Why we don't see the result? We haven't built the capacity of people transforming these ideas into an action, into a reality. So how are we going to build the capacity of people? So the education is fundamental in building the capacity of people. So what is the education? Education is all about knowledge, skills, attitudes, values, habits, and all of that. If you look at it in simple terms, it's all about knowledge, skills, and attitudes. So we have a system such, we always receive the knowledge, not skills, and attitudes. So when you do not have attitudes, you cannot work with different types of people, you cannot work in a group, you cannot work with different social backgrounds. And when you do not have skills, you do not know how to implement what you know, or how to implement what you want to do. So building the capacity is absolutely important in making ideas a reality on the ground. Otherwise, we'll be doing the same thing over and over again, expecting another outcome, or just the change that you want to see. So with that ideologies, I wanted to make the concept of changing the life as part of the priority of my life. So I wanted to see what is the purpose of life. So if you look at the purpose of life, as I believe, the purpose of life is all about serving one another. You look at mother or a father, son or a daughter, a doctor, an accountant, cleaner, what are they doing? What all of you are doing each and every single day by doing your job. You are making someone else's life happy. You are making someone else's life comfortable. You are assisting someone each and every single day by doing your job. But we haven't understood that. If we do understand that, we would not see jealousy, we would not see competition, we would not see people trying to deal with their egos. We would see a society that is so united and peaceful. This is Chaminda, a postman from my community. He mobilized people to support underprivileged students in his community. By today, he has supported 300 people for them to go to school. He was just a postman with 0 educational qualifications, but he mobilized people whenever he walks into the houses when he wants to deliver letters. So I got into national and international platform trying to change the world and understanding this concept. Then I met many activists, advocates talking about rights. Women's rights, child rights, human rights. But what I noticed was people were trying to use rights as a shield when there is an issue, when there is a situation, or when you want to defend something. So, Universal Declaration of Human Rights was a concept which was born in 1948 after a few thousand years of fighting, declaration, and more fighting until everyone agreed to have human rights for everyone. And it did not have force of law. It was an optional. So for me, 30 human rights, this concept was a set of values, guidelines, and responsibilities. So why aren't we teaching people about rights as their values and responsibilities rather than just using the word when you have something to fight? So the other challenge was, for me, I understood different elements of the society, and I knew that change in the world is absolutely possible now. Now, how can I take this concept to the grassroots levels? So I use music, dancing activities, technology, fashion, and it worked. We went to this community in Angulana. We wanted to educate people, and we reached out to the children. And children did not listen to us. We couldn't get them united. They were screaming here and there, but they asked a few questions. Are we getting a t-shirt or a cap? And then one of these guys was like, are we getting lunch today, and what is in that? We got those questions. So we didn't have anything, and we got our friend who was good at music. So we used him to play music. We asked those children to bring cans, bottle, boxes. They started expressing themselves. As you saw, there was a group of little girls. They started designing a dancing act. They perfectly did that. That was for the first time they designed a dancing activity. And we reached out to one of these girls, and she was not well dressed up, full of dust in her hair. I asked, is there an issue with water in your area? She was like, no, we don't have. Then I was like, you can dress up well, you can have a shower. She was like, no, we are not beautiful people like people in Colombo. That shocked me. So we realized the real ground scenario and the attitudes of these children. Today, our initiative is working with young people in 18 countries. We have 22 local chapters and 4,000 plus volunteers within Sri Lanka. We are also pushing policy and decision makers to make right decisions, make right impacts into the grassroots level, and recognize the grassroots level issues. So today's society has changed. The world has changed. There's no thick line in between peace builders, change makers, social workers, and all what you do. Everyone is a peace builder today. Everyone is a social worker today. Everyone's a change maker today. So if I could change my community when I was that small, without even knowing what I was doing, I'm sure you can absolutely make an impact by doing what you do. I believe that each and every person in this society want to help their family, want to help their community and their country. They have that desire inside of them. It's just that we need to bring that desire out in each one of us and transform that into an action. So ask yourself, what is the very next thing that you could do to make a change? Ask yourself, what is the very next thing that you could do to make a change in someone else's life? It begins with you. Thank you.